India has its climate controlled by a few features. They are latitude, altitude, pressure and wind system, ocean currents, and relief features. The climate of India is a tropical monsoon climate type with regional variations in temperature, precipitations, and amount of rainfall because of the large geographical area. The climate of India is a tropical region which describes the regions between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Most of the climate of India is a mixture of dry and wet tropical weathers.
India is one of the largest emitters of greenhouse gases in the world, representing about 7% of the total emissions globally. As a rapidly developing nation, India relies heavily on fossil fuels to help expand its industry. It is the second largest consumer of coal in the world, and its growing middle class has a large demand for cars, with nearly 2.5 million cars sold in 2020. India has increased its focus on renewable energy in recent years, but this is still dwarfed in comparison to its usage of non-renewable energy sources. CO2 is one of the most damaging forms of greenhouse gas emissions in the world, and India's have been growing rapidly in recent years, in line with its industrial development in the 21st century. India is one of the largest producers of greenhouse gases in the world, but adjusting for population, the average Indian has a far lower rate of emissions than a citizen of a global north country. As there are still many Indians living in deprived conditions without access to electricity, balancing the country's development with its commitments to fighting climate change will be a major challenge going forward.
So now the impact on the environment, it's a disaster. First, India is heating up. Between 1901 and 2018, temperature rose by 0.7 degrees and can throw our planet's natural system out of whack. The heat wave are 30 times more likely to happen. That's why there are forest fire, devastated farm, and wheat yield. Secondly, the extreme rainfall has heavily impacted India's central belt. And finally, one of the biggest problems is that in 2100, one-third of the glacier in the region will be gone, and that's the result of rising temperature and drought.
Some of the climate change challenges faced in India are energy security, glaciers melting, extreme heat, drought, and flooding. It's estimated that more than 40% of the Indian population will face water scarcity by 2050, and the country coastal areas will be affected by the rising sea levels. India is the fifth most vulnerable to climate change globally. Heat waves, frequency, and intensity are increasing in India because of climate change. India is the world's fifth largest renewable energy consumer in the world, with increase in solar and wind renewable energy. India hopes to achieve a net zero emission by 2070.
India will meet half of its energy requirements from renewable energy and significantly reduce carbon emission by 2030, announced by Prime Minister Modi at 2021. This proposal consists of India's non-fuel energy capacity to reach 500 gigawatts by 2030. India will meet 50% of its energy requirements and renewable energy by 2030. India will reduce its total production in carbon emission by 1 billion tons from now to 2030.